Hi guys, welcome to our show. My name is Gina Scafolio. This is Allison Faith. We are both IFBB bikini pros, and the first episode today we're going to talk about if you're interested in competing, is competing for you? So I think we're going to start off by like personality types and like what kind of person is cut out for competing.
Definitely. Yeah, there are a lot of personalities out there, and as coaches, we get approached by a lot of women who are interested in bikini competing, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of up to us to guide them to becoming an athlete, but they also have to have some qualities beforehand.
I mean, I feel like you have to have some kind of grit, like you enjoy sweating, you enjoy being sore, you enjoy putting in work. There's a lot of people that come to me and they're wanting to compete as a weight loss goal. Like they want to compete because they want to get their stuff together. And in my opinion, you should be disciplined already. You should enjoy the hard work.
Yep.
You should already be there where you need to be and then consider stepping on stage.
So competing isn't necessarily just the competition. It's like everything that happens before that. So you have to think, okay, a lot of people talk about doing a 3-month prep, a 4-month prep. Some people even do 6-month preps. But what were they doing before that? Most likely they've been doing this for about a year.
At least.
Or maybe
At
even
least.
longer. Like there's so many girls nowadays coming off the blocks looking like pros almost because they've put so many years of work behind the scenes into it. So not only having those character traits, but you have to grow the character traits, right?
For me, it's like you have to want to do those things and enjoy doing. If you're complaining about 10-15 minutes of cardio, what happens if you're not losing weight and your coach says, okay, bump it up to an hour? How are you going to feel then?
I've had some preps that I've coasted in pretty easily, doing like a moderate amount of cardio. And then I've had preps where I'm going to the gym 3 days a week, 3 days, 3 times a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And that doesn't last forever, but to get that last like pound or two off, sometimes that's what it takes, and it's hard. And you have to be able to not just mentally push through it, but physically, man, it's all about
psychologically.
Yeah, psychological strength and that grit that you were talking about.
And like, where is your mindset as far as like body image issues? Because if you start out with bad body image issues, you're not happy with the way you look, like 99% after you're done competing, it's going to be worse because you're going to get to that point where you see your body like shredded and like where like ideally where you want it to be, but that's not maintainable. So when you go back to how you were before, it's even worse because you've seen yourself how you want to look.
Yeah, and it also comes down to the point where if you have a body image problem or food eating disorder, you're just going to dig yourself into a deeper hole. You're not going to listen to your coach when they say, eat that cup of rice to lose that weight, or go get a refeed, or
go get a cheat.
Yeah, go do a cheat meal. Or when you're reversing back up, guys, I am not joking. This is my 4th reverse now, and I am still struggling with adding more food. I'm up to such a normal amount of food to a person
but it's scary.
Yeah, it is scary. And
I started out with like no issues at all. Like I feel like I started out with a really healthy relationship with food, and I mean, not everyone is 100% satisfied with their body image, but like I feel like I was in a really, really good place. But with each show, you kind of see like different feelings come out, and like
you get a lot more critical of yourself in every way.
And it's really just part of the process. And like you learn to get better. But like if you're thinking about competing and you have an eating disorder, or you've had an eating disorder recently and you feel like you just recovered, or you feel like you need to lose weight and like that's what's going to make you happy with yourself, competing is not for you, at least right now.
Your core value, like your why, has to be so strong. And I know for both of us, like our big why, other than personal development, really was like, building our own company, our own brands, like becoming something that we've always like envisioned for ourselves. So that's a huge why.
Yeah.
Now, if your why is just losing weight or proving to someone else you can do something, I just really recommend taking some time.
What I'm looking for, like when I'm looking for clients, is I always ask, why do you want to compete? And if it's to lose weight or to prove someone or to look better, you know, whatever the case may be, like I'm gonna kind of push them away. Like what I like to hear is something like, I'm a competitive person and I'm interested in the sport, because you have to remember it is a sport. It's not a pageant.
It's too expensive. It's too intense. It's a big toll on your body.
Yeah.
It ruins relationships if you don't have the right mindset.
That's like a whole other episode.
Yeah, it really is. Like
relationships and competing should be its own episode, I swear.
Definitely.
Like your girlfriend or boyfriend will want to break up with you for what, 3 months probably?
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, this close?
Yeah, and if they're good, like, you know, partners, they're not gonna say much. But afterwards, they'll let you know.
Also, just like, I've been lifting for 3 years. I've been on my nutrition for a year. I just want to push myself one step further. Or like, I want to see what I'm mentally and physically capable of. If you're out there to prove to yourself, like through a show, I'm okay with that. I feel like that's a good why. That's a good why. Yeah, I
agree. Like, it's okay to want to do it to reach a goal, but it has to be deeper than just like physical, like in how you look.
You do it, but do you have other obligations in the way? Like, do you have the time for this? Do you have time for competing and prepping? Like, some people, you know, there are a lot of people that their metabolism is so fast, they only need to do 15 to 20 minutes of cardio a day. But then there's other people who maybe don't have the best metabolic conditioning, or they have a lot of weight to lose, and you might be in the gym. When you break it down,
let's do a breakdown. So like a breakdown for an average competitor doing like a regional show, maybe with a normal metabolism.
Expect to lift at least an hour. 45 minutes to an hour minimum. Let's just say average an hour of cardio.
Yeah, so it might be split up into a fasted and
steady state or HIIT. Yeah. So it could be split up, but it could be anywhere from 15 minutes to 2 hours a day. Like, who knows? Like, we'll get into that later. Like, the
so many factors.
And like coaches and what they're having you do, some crazy stuff that goes on. But it's possible that your coach is going to have you do a couple hours of cardio a day. It's a possibility. So
it is.
Let's say an hour for working out, an hour for cardio, posing.
Yeah, so their posing is going to take, you should be doing at least 10 minutes. Some people will go longer. So let's say minimum, like in the average, 15 minutes, okay? And then stretching. Stretching is huge.
At least 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because your entire body is going to be sore for months. It does not.
It never stops.
It never stops. Because like, also, it's not just that you're working out so hard, it's that you don't have the nutrients that you normally do to recover. Like, you don't have the more calories and carbs and like every macronutrient, the more you have, the better you can recover. And like just micronutrients too, like vitamins and minerals. Like, the less food you eat, the less you're gonna get through food.
And rolling, I roll usually in the morning after my fasted, because my body's just so tight. You know, it's sometimes I have to roll even before.
Yeah, I do.
just to get on the treadmill to walk.
I roll out, or I'll do like the hydro massage. Like, I go to Crunch and they have the hydro massage. That takes 10 minutes before every workout. If I don't do that, I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so stiff.
Yeah, just like on the treadmill.
But yeah, I mean, like, add all of those things, like cardio, your lift, your posing, stretching, rolling. You might sauna, you might have to do abs, you might have to do breathing exercises. Like, if you've never done vacuums before, or you have a very weak transverse abdominals, your belly sticks out even though you're lean, you might need to do some breathing exercises. So like, expect what a minimum 2 hours a day.
That's minimum. I mean, that's at the very low end. You know, just a little insight into a pro's life. We're training in some way, shape, or form, minimum 3.5 hours a day. I would say towards the longer days where it takes me a long time to move, or I'm really sore, or I need the extra love, or maybe I need to lose some more weight. Guess what? More cardio.
Yeah, I lift, like, my lifts, I think both of us, anywhere from like hour to hour and a half.
Yep, definitely.
Let's say an hour of cardio. I think we both do a little more.
Yeah. Just a little.
I stretch every single day, twice a day. So like I'll do my fasted cardio in the morning, and then I'll go in the sauna for about 20 minutes and stretch. And then the same thing, like after my lift, I'll go in this, like later at night, I'll go back in the sauna for 20 minutes and stretch again. And I probably average posing anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes a day. I tan. I think this last prep, I was so invested in this prep and going pro and like my pro debut, I would average 4 hours a day.
Oh yeah.
Longer, probably 5.
You were doing a really good job. Seriously, guys. The moment I met her, I saw the fire in her eyes. She had a vision.
I think we saw
she
each
went
other.
For it. Yeah.
That's why we became friends.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah. But let's just say per show, minimum 1,000 for bikini.
Yep.
Like men's physique, or like I guess men in general don't have to worry about heels, suit, hair, makeup, all of that, robe, like all of the little stuff. But for your first show, I think I spent like $1,500, and I was lowballing it.
Yeah,
I was lowballing it.
We can like link up a list of like how much we spent. Maybe that'll pop up right after this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's just, you have to think everything's getting more expensive. Just the NPC card and a couple crossovers, that's over $300.
And you don't think about the details either. Like, do you need a wax? Do you have thick hairs and you need a wax? That's freaking $55 plus tip.
Yep.
Your nails.
Your
Manicure, pedicure tip, $100 right there.
Oh yeah.
Just like so
you get your hair
details.
cut, maybe you get a gloss, maybe you get
like
blowouts.
a Brazilian blowout. Yeah.
I mean, even if you do everything yourself.
I've done everything myself except for my tan. Every one of my shows, and I'm still spending minimum $1,000. Nationals, I ended up spending $3,500 because you have to think if you have to travel, plane tickets, hotels, Ubers if you don't have a car, it adds up.
Adds up really quick.
And the last thing we had on our list is support system.
Yes.
You can start out with that one.
Okay, so support system's huge. You definitely need at least one person in your corner. Now, this doesn't have to be a relationship. It doesn't have to be a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It could just be a really amazing coach, maybe a really great personal trainer that you see on maybe daily or talk to, every other day. It could be a really good friend who understands. Yeah, it could be a great parent. I mean, there are parents out there that are so invested in their children relationship.
But you really I feel like you need a channel to vent.
Yes.
If you're not someone who like writes in a journal or, somehow like really, I don't know, like puts out your emotions somehow, like you need an outlet because it's not going to be easy.
No, and Instagram, it's kind of nice for that. I'll kind of gravitate towards like a couple specific people that are dealing with the same problems or we're in the same trend mindset at that time.
That's how we met actually, is because you posted on your Instagram.
That is true.
You're like, hey, I'm having a really hard prep. Is there anyone that I like is going through the same thing? And I saw her, like I had been following her because she was my teammate. She was pro before me. And I don't think she had seen my Insta yet, but I saw her story and I replied and I was like, hey, I'm your teammate and I live by you.
I was like, what? No way.
So like social media can be a place where you find that person too. Like people judge social media as like a fake world, but honestly it's 2019, almost 2020. Like this is its own reality.
Yeah, and if you can't like differentiate like the fake and the crazy people from like real people, I don't know what to tell you. We're very straight shooters, so like it's kind of easy for us to like detect the BS. Like we don't even look at it, but
you might have to like trial and error with that. Maybe try to find someone in person if you're not very good at that.
But having a support system, like my boyfriend, there's so many things he does for me whenever I'm in prep. Like I start slacking on cleaning the house. I start slacking on bringing the dogs out.
My gosh.
I start slacking on the smallest things. Even grocery shopping gets hard.
I'm like OCD, and my car off season, spotless. It looks like a new car. And then during prep, it looks like I'm living out of my car.
Yeah, so these are things to think about because let's say you are in a relationship and you don't have the most supportive girlfriend, boyfriend, best friend, roommate, whatever.
Oh yeah, who you're living with matters.
How are they gonna deal with you not being the exact same person they knew you were 3 months ago?
If you're like a very reasonable person, like right now, and maybe your roommate pulls a lot of BS, maybe throws parties like in the middle of the night. If you're in prep, you might not be the most understanding person anymore. And so you start like butting heads. Like I start butting heads with Justin. I start butting heads with my friends. Like I start road rage in traffic.
Oh yeah.
Like just imagine being hangry for 3 months straight. Like you honestly, like sometimes prep can bring the worst out in you. And if you don't have people that are there to support you and understand that, like it can get bad.
It gets hairy really quick, so just keep that in mind.
I think we covered all of the points. Other than like finances and the people that surround you, the biggest thing is just going to be where you are mentally and are you cut out for this nitty gritty sport?
Yep. And you can mold yourself into becoming a stronger, more disciplined person with like the most grit. Like you can become whatever you believe, but you have to have a base.
You have to have that first.
And it'll keep growing as you start competing, but you really have to have the base first. So.
Yeah, grow your discipline,
Yep.
Get your metabolic conditioning, develop the muscle you need to develop, get your body fat down.
Get a coach if you don't know how to do that on your own.
Yeah, get a lifestyle coach.
Yeah.
And then consider competing down the road.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks so much for watching. We've really had a lot of fun with this episode, and we have more to come.
Our next episode is actually how to pick a show. So if you feel like you've connected with all of this information, maybe you're in the right place or you're very close to it, then stay tuned for our next episode, hopefully next week. And it's going to be how to pick a show.
How to pick a show.
Thanks for watching.
See ya.